What's going on, all you brainiacs out there, and welcome back to yet another Football Draft Friday. Today, we are going to be looking into the top wide receiver in this draft class. I guess I don't want to speak for everybody, but the top for most people in Ja'Marr Chase out of LSU. Now, he didn't play in 2020. Devonta Smith had an insane year. He may be the first guy to go in the draft. However, I think it is pretty consensus that Ja'Marr Chase is the top guy to be looking at for the 2021 NFL Draft. Let's get it rolling.
Welcome to The Lab.
So like I mentioned before the intro, Ja'Marr Chase did not play in the 2020 football season. Now, oftentimes that'll drop someone's stock. I mean, look at examples of Jamie Newman from Georgia. He isn't even in the conversation for top 6 quarterbacks. I mean, he's still a guy who could go in day 2, but he isn't. Kyle Trask has eclipsed him. Mac Jones has eclipsed him by most standards because they really came onto the scene in 2020. We haven't seen Jamie Newman in this season. We haven't seen him this year, how much he's improved. So that stuff like that oftentimes hurts draft stock, but not with Ja'Marr Chase. Ja'Marr Chase is still widely considered to be the top prospect, the top of the wide receiver position, another very deep wide receiver class. So why is that? What did he do in 2019 that was so special that caused his draft stock not to fall going into this 2021 NFL Draft? So let's dive into the film and hopefully I can answer some of those questions. All right, let's get into the video here. We're going to look at some Ja'Marr Chase film against Auburn and Texas A&M. Now, there weren't really particular reasons why I chose these two games. I chose them just because, they were easy access, and, Chase was pretty ridiculous no matter what game he played. He and Burrow's connection was off the charts. He produced at a ridiculously high level. In fact, a lot of top defensive backs who went in the draft last season called Ja'Marr Chase the toughest wide receiver they went up against all year. That is, that's some very good and high praise for Chase to get. So starting off with this first catch, I want to start off with what I think Ja'Marr Chase does probably better than any receiver in this draft class, or at least as good as any receiver, and really part of the reason that sets him apart in my mind. So you'll see him here at the bottom of your screen. You'll see him, he runs up, you see Joe Burrow throw the ball, he comes back, makes a great catch. Ja'Marr Chase's ability to just find open space, to come back on routes and find open space is really what sets him apart in my mind. And, I'll show that a little bit better on a different example. Here, this is just a connection that he has with Joe Burrow right here. He knows Burrow is going to throw this back shoulder. So what does he do? He runs, and then right at the last second, he turns around. Look at that. And he sends number 23 flying past him. Though 23 doesn't really go that far past him even. And you know what Ja'Marr Chase does? He catches the ball with the defensive back's hands in there. Look, the defensive back's hands are on the ball. No matter. Ja'Marr Chase has strong hands. So that is not a problem. This next one will show you, you can see him here up at the top of your screen. We'll show you more what I'm talking about with coming back and finding open space for his quarterback to throw to. Here you go. You see Joe Burrow's in trouble, right? Back up a little bit and you can see this defender gets past his offensive lineman, so Burrow has to roll out. It's obvious that there's nothing going on downfield. Absolutely nothing. What happens? Burrow completes a pass to a wide open Ja'Marr Chase. Is that the route Ja'Marr Chase was running? Absolutely not. He obviously didn't get open on his initial route, but you know what he did? He saw his quarterback was in trouble. He came back to the ball, found the open space, which is something that a lot of wide receivers don't know how to do at this stage, and something very important for top tier guys to have, because not every play is going to go exactly how it's drawn up. So your ability to, play backyard football, as a lot of commentators like to call it, your ability to find that open space, and part of that is a connection that you need to develop with your quarterback, and the fact that Ja'Marr Chase has that connection with Burrow goes to show that he can do it at the next level. Here you'll see him just finishing out that run. Here you'll see he's up there. You'll see another comeback touchdown, and this will, again, go more to show exactly what I've been talking about here. Again, just great connection between him and Burrow. that is, in a phenomenal catch. There's even pass interference. Like, this guy is insane. It doesn't matter. Here you'll see you see this route, little stutter step, goes up, boom, cuts back right there. The ball's in the air. Burrow, he knows exactly where Burrow's throwing it. Burrow knows exactly where he can throw it so that his guy gets it. You see, there's even the defender's arm in his face mask. No matter. Comes down with the catch. Ja'Marr Chase, very special. All right, here you're going to see he's at the bottom of your screen there. I'll back up a second. He's at the bottom of your screen there. Here you're just going to see some speed. For a wide receiver, it is very, very important that you're fast, obviously, because you have to be able to get past defensive backs. You have to be able to get open for your quarterback. Ja'Marr Chase has enough speed. Now, he's not the fastest guy. He isn't the fastest wide receiver in this draft class, and he, in all reality, when you see his 40-yard dash time, it'll probably be very average. You're probably going to see somewhere around 4.5 would be my guess, and definitely not lower than 4.4. I could see somewhere between 4.45 and 4.5, but you're not going to see anything blazing fast. But it doesn't matter because he does. First off, he's fast enough. That is fast enough, especially for his size. Here you'll see a replay of that pass right there. I mean, right in the breadbasket. Defensive back caught up with him, but still a great play. Here you'll see him. He was at the top of your screen there. This one, he really blew by the defender. He's got enough speed. That's not a problem. Is he Henry Ruggs fast, Tyreek Hill fast? Absolutely not. But he's got some things that those guys can't even do. Here you see him just absolutely blow past the defender. He's got enough speed. I'm not concerned about the speed, even though it's not jump off the page. Because along with that speed, he's got a little bit of power. You're going to see here, gets a little handsy there in the route, gets open, uses his body, makes a good catch right in stride, absolutely. And here on this next play, you see him right up there. He does another thing that is very useful for wide receivers. Look at that. Shakes that tackle off. Now, running yards after the catch is a huge thing. If he gets tackled right here, where he gets tackled right there, you see he's 3 yards short of the first down. But you know what? He runs like a running back with the ball in his hands, and that's not something a lot of receivers do. You combine the speed, obviously receivers are typically smaller, they're typically faster, right? Ja'Marr Chase is fast. He's plenty fast. Not the fastest, but plenty fast. But on top of that, he's got great balance, and he's got good strength and can shake off guys, unlike a lot of receivers. Here you go, he shook him off and easily gets the first down and more. So that combined with the speed, is very good. You'll see here's the last play that I want to go over, and this just goes to show exactly what Ja'Marr Chase, is good at, and that's catching the ball. He's got great hands. You'll see him get a little handsy. I mean, that defender is draped all over him. There might even be a little bit of PI. You see that right there. But Chase makes the grab. Not even a problem. So, Ja'Marr Chase, if what I want you to take away from this film session, Ja'Marr Chase is not the fastest guy. Ja'Marr Chase is not the strongest guy. He is not the biggest guy. I don't even think I would say he has the best hands in this draft class. But what he does do is he does all of that well. He puts it together well, and what really sets him apart is his ability to take all those skills and use his brain and find open space when his quarterback needs him the most. And that is what sets him apart, and that is why he's the number one guy on my draft board. So now that you've gotten an opportunity to look at some Ja'Marr Chase film, and really now you hopefully understand why it is that Chase is the number one receiver on my draft board, as he is on a lot of guys' draft boards, even though he didn't play in 2020. Because he had such a record-setting year. In 2019, he had 1,700 receiving yards. That's insane. I mentioned it on the film, but I'll mention it again. A lot of top draft cornerbacks who went in that 2020 draft said the hardest receiver for them to cover was Ja'Marr Chase. It's just because he's so good at getting open. Now let's talk team fits. Where could he go? He will go in the first round. That I am confident of. But where in the first round will Ja'Marr Chase go? The earliest I see him going is at number 3. He could technically go to the Jets at 2 because they could use a receiver, but that's probably going to go to a quarterback or another position of need for them. I'd be very surprised if they took a wide receiver there. The Dolphins at 3 could take a wide receiver, though that spot will probably be occupied by either Devonta Smith or Jalen Waddle, someone to pair with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama. Those are the receivers from Alabama. That makes too much sense for one of those guys to go there over Jamar Chase. Looking at another potential spot for Chase, and the one that I probably think is the most likely, is the Philadelphia Eagles at 6. They obviously drafted Jalen Reagor in 2020 to hopefully be their wide receiver 1. I like Jalen Reagor a lot. Do I think he's a wide receiver 1? No. Do they realize that they need a lot more help outside of just that wide receiver 1 position? Yes, because outside of Jalen Reagor, who do they have? An always injured and old Alshon Jeffrey, who probably won't be with the team next year. An always injured and old Deshaun Jackson, who also probably won't be with the team next year. A Travis Fulgham, who really broke out, but, he really also disappeared down the stretch. Greg Ward, but Greg Ward's not more than a depth slot receiver piece who's really not going to make much of an impact in a fantasy football or in the starting lineup. So they are very receiver needy still. And I could see Jamar Chase being a good pair there with Jalen Reagor. Having Reagor take a little bit of stress off of Reagor, let Reagor work as the wide receiver 2, have Jamar Chase there as the wide receiver 1. For fantasy, I think that's about as good as it gets. Another place he could go is the Detroit Lions. Maybe they let Kenny Golladay walk. And if that's the case, I could see them taking Jamar Chase, and that would be another good fit if Matthew Stafford is there. If Matthew Stafford is not there, obviously it depends on what that quarterback position is and where that's at before I'm willing to say Jamar Chase would be a good fantasy asset if he were to be on the Lions. Now beyond that, what happens if Jamar Chase falls outside the top 7? Where would he go after that? The next 2 most likely landing spots are the New York Giants and the New England Patriots. I do not think he falls below Philadelphia. I really think Philadelphia will take Jamar Chase. If he does fall that far, though, I think New England would be a spot where he could definitely have an early impact. They are very, very, very desperate for wide receivers. Now, the issue with New England there at 15, who's their quarterback going to be? I could also see them taking their quarterback of the future, but, that's something that they're going to have to weigh at that pick. And, of course, the New York Giants at 11. But if he goes to the Giants, he could have an impact, but he could also disappear. They still have Sterling Shepard there, and I don't believe Sterling Shepard is a wide receiver 1. But as a rookie, Jamar Chase may struggle a little bit to make an impact there with Sterling Shepard, with Darius Slayton, with Evan Ingram. Of course, Saquon Barkley's going to take quite a bit of targets up. And Daniel Jones, what's he going to do? Is he going to take another step forward, or is he going to continue down his path of mediocrity? So there's a lot of question marks in that offense. I really think it doesn't get any better than being with the Eagles, even with their quarterback situation, which is all sorts of crazy. Is Carson Wentz going to be there? Is Jalen Hurts going to be there? I think both of those guys could add value to Jamar Chase from what we've seen this year. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you for sticking with me. I really hope now you have an understanding of why Jamar Chase is that number 1 wide receiver on a lot of draft boards, including my own, and really where he could have a fantasy impact in 2021. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, you like this video, hit that bell so that you get notifications every single time we post a video. Do not forget to follow us on Twitter at FF Laboratory, and have a great day.